Hi, Joe Brown. Welcome to Lighter Shade of Brown. Today we talk about the emotional side of personal injury, and I got a motorcycle versus semi-truck case. It still sticks with me 7-8 years after I handled the case. Hit that like, subscribe, follow, knock that bell button so you get notification. We're here every week. So first of all, let me start with the NBA. Like, I love basketball, so don't take this anywhere differently. I love basketball. I enjoy playing it. I've played basketball leagues for years. I didn't play high school basketball, but I played pickup basketball from the time, I was probably in 7th, 8th grade. So I love basketball. Old school Laker fan, Showtime, but LeBron James is I just hate the guy. I can't watch him. I can't watch him flop. I hate this whole thing that he stays and hangs on so his son can play with him. His son doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. He's not that good. And maybe he could be that good if he had actually stayed in college, maybe a year or two. But instead, his dad rushed him, forced the Lakers to go ahead and draft him. I love the Lakers, and I hate to see this. You've got Showtime. That's what I grew up with. And then you follow it up with Kobe. Kobe's better than LeBron. Kobe has a heart. I watch those videos watching Kobe when he tears his Achilles. He gets up. He's like, I'm no bitch like Paul Pierce. And he goes to the free throw line and knocks down his free throws and won't let anybody help him off the court. That's basketball. And then today's rules of this, 3-step, 2-step, running, jumping backwards, traveling. It's horrible to watch. It just sucks. All the scoring, no defense. I used to love Sunday mornings. These guys would play Saturday nights and then they turn around and play Sunday mornings. And that would be the NBA, and you'd be watching it every Sunday, and people are beating them. You had Detroit beating up, New York. People are getting knocked to the ground. Jordan doesn't get a call unless he's bleeding. These guys nowadays, they score 120 points because if you blow on them, it's a freaking foul, and they're crying. They're always crying. Stop crying. If you're not bleeding, you're fine. Be a man. You get paid millions of dollars to play a man's sport. You literally won't play back-to-back games because it's too hard on your body. We should have less games in the NBA. These guys were knocked to the ground. They got up and they played, and then they played the next day, and then they played 2 days later, and there was no bitching of, this season's too long, and, it's too rough. That was basketball. It was a physical game. There was just athletes playing a physical game, and it was fun to watch. It was great to watch. This is painful to watch. The flops. Oh my God. I missed a shot. He hit me on the arm. You know what? He probably hit you on the arm, and you missed a shot because you're a bitch and you don't know how to hit through contact. That's what you need to learn to do. That's what was great about the NBA is it was, it wasn't football contact, but it was good contact. Hockey's great. Hockey's phenomenal to watch. You've got fights, you've got contact. You don't have guys over they're spitting their teeth out and they're going back in. These guys, compared to the babies in the NBA that are paid $10-20 million a year, and they're like, I got a hamstring pull, or I got this, or I got I got a bump, I got a concussion to my foot. That's called life, bro. The rest of us go to work and get it done, and we don't make $20 million a year. So suck it up, perform for the fans, do what you're paid to do, and stop whining and bitching. LeBron James is no Michael Jordan. He's no Kobe Bryant. Is he the GOAT? He's not top 2. I don't know if he's 3, 4, but he's just not there. And he's never going to be there, in my opinion. And these guys who play today could not play in the 90s. They would be broken. They would be crying. Maybe it's just all these participation trophies or all these, mommy said you were great. Because mommy never said we were great when we were little. So get your ass up, spit on it, rub some dirt on it, and get back in the game. That's what they told us. That's what they told me on the football field. That's what they told me when I played basketball. We played outdoor ball. I grew up in Southern California. You skin your knee, you get knocked down, you get up and you keep playing. You don't go home. You're not looking for a Band-Aid. You're looking to get back in the game and beat the guy who knocked you down. That's what competitive athletes do. They don't go join super teams. Don't even get me started on that bullshit. I mean, you didn't see Michael Jordan chasing other people to beat Bird and Magic. You didn't see these changes where everybody wants to bounce to different teams, and I want to play with those guys. Kobe didn't want to play with those guys. He wanted to beat those guys. He wanted to be better than those guys. He wanted to just humiliate them when he had to. You know, you watch when Kobe get beaten, he gets smacked down, he gets knocked, he gets hit on the elbow. He may complain, but he doesn't throw a fit. He then turns around and drops 40 on the guy and says, dude, do you want to fucking hurt me? I'm going to put you out of this game. That is what an athlete does when someone challenges them. They don't bitch and moan. That's what LeBron James does. So listen, not a LeBron James fan, never going to be a LeBron James fan. He's fucking ruining the Lakers. You know what? Good thing is I live in Phoenix, so I can actually watch the Suns because at least they're not a bunch of whiny bitches. All right, shifting gears here. It's morning. Got my morning coffee with me. Right now, I've got this little medium roast Colombian coffee, a couple of raw sugars, little half pump of creamer, trying to go light on the sugar content. So I've been scaling back my normal traditional Starbucks and trying something new. My paralegal says I'm growing up and becoming a real man. I guess maybe that's what it is. You know, coffee in the morning that's actually warm as opposed to some ice latte or something with, you know, cream on top, which I miss. I'm not going to lie. But that's what I got today. Let me change gears a little bit. I want to talk something serious. There's a case that just sticks with me. I've settled this case, gosh, it's probably 4 years ago at this point. But it's still something that sticks with me on a daily basis. I do think about this family and this horrendous car accident, or motorcycle accident, I should say. So I've got a gentleman who unfortunately passed away. It was his birthday. If I remember correctly, it was 51st or 52nd birthday. He's headed to work. He calls his wife before he heads to work. Him and his wife had 6 months into marriage, just starting anew. Both of them, it's second or third marriage, but they were high school kind of sweethearts, dated a little bit in high school and then went their separate ways. Reconnects, the power of Facebook, reconnects on Facebook later in life, and they're now starting a life together. You know, they both have kids from other relationships. He's got 3 kids and here in Phoenix. She's got 2 kids. She lives in Dallas, if I remember correctly, but they've connected. They're in love, and they went and got married. But you know they're separate right now. While the kids in Dallas are a little bit older. They're going to finish high school, and then she's moving into Phoenix to be with her new husband. And so this guy calls her, jumps on his motorcycle. He's heading to work. He works for Southwest Airlines as a mechanic. Does pretty well. And unfortunately, as he's driving to work, a semi-truck makes a U-turn in the middle of the road, something you completely would not expect. Now, my guy, I don't know what he's thinking. I think he sees this truck making a U-turn, and so he starts going left, and almost into oncoming traffic, actually gets to the oncoming traffic lane. Semi-trucks making a U-turn, so I think he thinks he can beat the truck on the U-turn. I think he realizes he can't. So then he says, okay, you know what? He lays the motorcycle down. He tries to matrix through the bottom of the motorcycle or bottom of the truck between the 2 wheels. And you know what? The motorcycle gets through. Everything gets through except for his head. He has a helmet on, but he hit his head on the gas tank. I mean, small dent on the gas tank is the only thing there. Unfortunately, he dies on the way to the hospital. So horrendous results on his birthday. Leaves behind a new wife. He's got 3 minor children, and then 2 stepchildren that he just recently got. So it's always been one of those cases that is just going to hit me. I mean, it's just hard. Him and his wife got married about the same time me and my wife got married. And I think it's just we're in similar stages of life. I mean, when I was handling the cases, I was in my late 40s, but he was, just turned 50. I mean, we're not far apart in age, and it's just too young for someone to pass away. It was a tough accident. We had a, very big company on the other side, and they fought it, and they fought hard. I mean, honestly, this case went on for 3 years. I didn't get my first offer until 3 years into it at a mediation. So we did a mediation on the case. This is a case, in my opinion, where the company wore down the family. I think the kids really wanted to move on. One of the children was going off to college. Now she had graduated high school, literally graduated high school 2 weeks after her dad died. So this time of year, I mean, I want to say the accident was in April. She graduated in the middle of May, so maybe it was about a month after the death. But it's a case that just sticks with me because to see the hurt in the wife and the family, and to understand that, and to know they came to me to really fight for them. Obviously I did not take that lightly, but we did get it resolved, and the family wanted it resolved. I think, maybe we could have got a little bit more if we had pushed it all the way to trial. But sometimes you got to do what's best for your client. And in this case, the clients needed to heal, and they needed to move on, especially these kids. One was moving off to college. She decided she wanted to go to school back east. She needed the money to start college without having her dad here to help support her. She really was hurting there financially. So, I think it turned out for the best. They resolved the case. It turned out good for everybody. I think they did well financially. But it just, unfortunately, that's the worst thing about my case and my job is that I can't bring back the person that's passed away. All I can do is provide some type of financial compensation. And you know what? That's never going to heal your heart. One of the things I do find that's key to these cases is when they do resolve finally, at least it allows the family to start working on healing. Because while it's going, it just doesn't happen. You just don't heal. It's raw because you're thinking about it. You got to answer questions about it. You have a deposition that's going to be taken. You're going to have to be prepared for that. We're going to have to go to a mediation. Everybody's going to tell you the bad things that your dad or your spouse did wrong that day, which led to ultimately his passing. And that's not something people want to hear, and that's not something anybody should have to hear. But it is what it is. And that's, that's the game that we have to play with the defense. And they know the more uncomfortable they make it, sometimes the longer they make it, the better they can resolve the case on their end. And they're just looking at it as dollars and cents. Commercial company, huge company, probably a Fortune 100 company on the other end of this. If I can't say the name because we entered a confidentiality agreement, but if I said it, everybody would know it. But they look at this as a dollars and cents. It's a number. And what is this number, and how much is this number, and what's our worst day? And if we pay X, can we, get it to go away? So that's what we deal with here, especially in commercial trucking cases. People may not realize this, but I come from a family of truckers. So I understand these trucking cases really well because I've got my grandfather, my uncle, multiple uncles actually, own trucking business. I've got an uncle right now. I always call him every trucking case. Hey, here's my facts. Tell me what the trucker did wrong. He inevitably, every time, within 30 seconds, tells me, hey, this is where it is. This is what he did wrong. This is what you should probably look for. So he may make fun of me. He's like, oh, you're after those big truckers and you're after us. But he knows safety, and he understands, that big trucks have a duty owed to everybody on the road. And he knows exactly when something goes wrong, where that duty is violated. And that's helpful to me because it saves me a little bit on expert fees when I understand what I'm looking for right off the bat and I know which way to go. But it is a nuance of me that a lot of people don't realize is coming from these, uncles that all own trucking businesses and have all driven truck over road for years and years and years, is that we've got a little bit of inside knowledge here that, is not typical of a lawyer. I did not come from that lawyer country club background. I came from small Erie, Pennsylvania, poor kid growing up, with a hardworking family that worked. Stepdad worked in the steel industry, and it came from my grandfather, and uncles were driving semi trucks. I mean, that's my background. That's who I am. That's who molded me. That gives me the information and knowledge that I have today, and it gives me the drive to be better every day, because I know what it's like to grow up poor, and I never want to be poor again. And I know what my clients are dealing with, because I know that they're fighting the system and they feel like they can't fight the system because they maybe don't have the means. And that's what I love to do. That's why I love what I do every single day. I will tell you, I'm probably one of the few attorneys on TV that actually handle cases. The other guy is Mark Breyer. I'll give him credit. Mark does handle cases, and he's a lawyer. He's out there lawyering. I said, you know what? And that's what I do. I lawyer every day. In fact, I just brought on a CFO so he could take some of my administrative duties off so I could spend more time lawyering, because that's why I went to law school. I want to fight these companies. I want to make things right that they've done wrong. And you know what? I'm in a position to do that, and I enjoy that every single day. So that's Joe Brown at Accident Law Group. That's what we do. So that's the emotional side of personal injury cases. And that's my hot take on the NBA. Tune in next week.